Hi there. If you've ever opened Blender and thought, what on earth is going on here? I can't learn this, this is too complicated, you're in the right place. I'm Eddie, I'm a professional 3D designer, and I've put together what's probably one of the most complete step-by-step Blender courses on YouTube. It's over 35 hours long with 70 plus lessons, all designed to take things slowly and clearly and without the confusion. I'm not going to rush you, I'm not going to skip steps, and I'm definitely not going to leave you pausing every 5 seconds thinking, wait, what did he just say? We'll keep things simple, really simple. So if other tutorials have felt too fast or overwhelming, please stick around. We're going to learn Blender together by creating this classic Land Rover and environment. Hello and welcome back to lecture 65. And let's carry on with this hinge on the tailgate for this lecture. But looking at this now and looking at the hinge here in the picture, I feel this is too wide. So the first thing I want to do is reduce the width of this one. So I'm going to tap this one and I'm going to hit the slash key on the numpad to isolate it. And I'm going to press Ctrl 1 to go into orthographic rear view. And I'm going to tap into edit mode on that and press Z and go into wireframe. And make sure we're in vertices selection. I'm going to grab all these vertices here. Making sure I haven't got the bolts as well. And then I'm going to take this in a bit. Maybe to about there. And we'll see how that looks. Let's go back into solid. And let's hit this / the numpad to bring everything back again. And let's tap out of edit for a minute. Get the orthographic view back. And let's just bring this over and see how it looks. Looking at this one and looking at this one. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Of course, the bolts are looking a little bit big now as well. So let's tap back into edit mode on that and press 3 so we can select faces. Let's grab all 3 of these bolts. And let's hit Ctrl plus to make sure we've selected everything on those bolts. And let's make sure here in pivot point that we are in individual origins. And let's hit S and scale those in. That's it. And then just bring those over so they're a little bit more centralized again. And there we go, that's it. Let's tap out of edit mode on that. Actually, there's one other thing I want to do, which is I forgot to bevel the edge of this one here. So let's tap in again. And let's press 2 so we can select edges. Hold Alt, grab that edge there, press Ctrl B, and bevel that. Put a slight bevel on that, and maybe put 2 segments in it, and that will do. Let's tap out of edit mode on that, and there we go. Okay, so now let's work on this plate that we see here. Let's see if we can get that in. So let's go ahead and press Shift A, and Mesh, and let's bring in a cube, and let's scale it down. Let's press 3 so we see this from the side and we get an idea. And let's bring this in so it kind of touches the bumper. And maybe bring it down a little bit to something like that. Let's view that from the back. And let's get that scale down, so SX, and bring that to a reasonable thickness. I'd say something like that. Bring that over and put it in position. Okay, let's tap into edit mode on that. And let's press 1 so we can select vertices, and we'll grab all those vertices. Grab the back ones as well. And let's bring that down to make this thing a little bit longer. Something like that. Let's press 3 now so we can select faces. Grab this face here on the front. And let's press 3 so we see this from the side, and then bring this out like this. There we go, that looks cool. Let's select 2 now, and then grab this edge here. And actually, let's just grab that edge there to begin with, and then bring that edge in to something like that. Now let's grab both these edges and press Ctrl B and bevel them. Oh, I've got the wrong edge there. I'm sorry. Let's reselect that. That one there and this one here. And press Ctrl B and bevel those edges. Let's scroll the mouse wheel to add some extra segments to that selection. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I've got 6 segments. And that's the kind of shape that I'm looking for. Okay, cool. Let's just press A for all and bring it out now a little bit more to about there. Let's hit the / key on the numpad to isolate it. Press 3, grab this face here now and bring that face back a little bit more to make sure that it's inside the bumper. Okay, since we've got it, let's actually tap out of edit mode and let's look at the scale. That's out. So let's press Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. And let's add the bevel modifier to this. And increase the zeros, maybe 2 zeros. Let's see what we get. And maybe 2 segments. Maybe we increase this 1 to a 2. And that will be fine. There we go. Let's apply that. And let's shade auto smooth. Let's bring everything back and see what we got. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's grab this bolt here now and the nut as well. So we've got those 2 components and press Shift D and Y and bring those out. Let's make sure that we're still in individual origins, which we are. Actually, let's just join those. So let's grab both of those and press Ctrl J and join those together. And let's now rotate that 180 degrees in the Y-axis. So R, Y, 180, enter. Let's press Ctrl 1 so we can see this from the orthographic view and then bring this up. And scale it down. And maybe take it back a little bit till we get something like that. Okay, so I still want to maybe just tap into edit mode and we can oh, it's over here, isn't it? Let's grab this face here, press Ctrl plus to expand the selection just 1 set so we pick up that beveled edge as well and then just move that back to something like that. Let's press A to grab all. And now just take it back until it kind of fits where we want it. And that's kind of what I want. Let's press Z and go to wireframe and now just grab that face on the end there and then just pull that a little bit more till it's sticking out the edge of the larger of the 2 cylinders. Go back to solid and there we go. Since we've got that edge now, we should maybe just put a bevel on that edge. So let's press 2, got that edge there, press Ctrl B, and just bevel that. Let's reduce the segments, we definitely don't need 6, to 2 segments, and there we go. And let's tap out of edit mode on that, and see what we got. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so next thing we want to do is, I want to put a little weld down here, so let's see if we can do that. So let's press Shift A, and let's bring in a curve and we'll bring in a path curve. Let's scale that down and rotate it on the Y. So I'll press RY 90, enter, and bring that down quite a bit. And let's scale that down. Maybe just bring it forward slightly so we can see it. There we go. And there we go. Maybe scale it slightly in the X, so in the Z, so S to Z. And just take it up slightly, and that's cool. Okay, let's bring it out slightly. Now let's go down to Object Data Properties, and let's go straight down to the depth, and let's increase this to get some diameter to this. And because we're going to sculpt this, let's increase the resolution to quite a high 10 and 14. Okay, let's right click and let's convert to a mesh. And let's tap into edit mode and see what we got. There we go, that's cool. So the next thing we want to do is look at the scale. Maybe we can fix that. So let's press Control A and apply rotation and scale. And let's see where we are with this. Let's take it in this way slightly and this way slightly. And now let's go ahead into sculpt mode. So we'll start off with the blob tool, I think. We'll just make these sort of bulges again like we did last time. There we go, and do another one here. There we go. Maybe one more. Okay, let's go for the crease tool. And just push this in now on the end. Where's the crease tool? There it is. And we'll use the crease tool just to squeeze the ends in until they're pretty much gone. There we go. And do that at the top. I'm just going to use the crease tool a couple of times here on the waist of each of these, just to sort of make those a bit more obvious. There we go. Now I'm going to go for the smooth tool, which is this one here, and just be quite subtle with this. Just use a little bit just to soften off what we've done. Okay, now I'm going to look for the thumb tool, which is this one here, and I'm going to give, again, our weld a bit of a direction. Maybe increase the radius now a little bit, and yep, just pull these down as we go. And just pull the ends into position, out of the way. Close this end up a bit more. Push it back. There we go, that'll be fine. Okay, so let's just find that soften tool again, smooth tool, sorry. And just do a few more touches here and there to just smooth out some of these edges. Cool, all right, I'm gonna go back into object mode now. And I'm just gonna take this in a little bit more. So we end up with something looking just like that. And yeah, that's actually a pretty nice weld. So now let's make a copy of this and put it on the opposite side. So let's grab this one here and we'll press Shift A. I'm sorry, we'll press Shift S and cursor to the selected. And I'll grab this one here too, right click and set the origin to the 3D cursor. Now we'll press Shift D. Okay, so now we're happy with all this. Let's mirror this to the opposite side. Let's grab maybe this tailgate here, and let's press Shift S and cursor to the selected. Now let's grab this thing here, and we will right click and we will set the origin to the 3D cursor. Now let's press Shift D, right click twice, and let's mirror in the X axis. There we go, that's good. Let's do the same with this little plate thing here now. So we'll right click and we will set the origin to the 3D cursor. We'll press Shift D, we'll right click twice, and we will mirror in the X axis. Ah, we missed the bolt off. Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, so let's move this bolt then. So we'll grab this bolt and we'll right click and we will set the origin to the 3D cursor, and we'll press Shift D, right click twice, and mirror in the X axis. There we go. That's everything in place and really looking quite good. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture. So I just want to take a sec to talk about my website. If you're enjoying this tutorial and you like my take it steady, keep it simple approach, then why not head over to my website. There you can explore a range of courses I've created, including architectural visualizations and animation courses for Blender, or interior design courses learning to make photorealistic renders and animations specifically for Blender. If you're interested in learning AutoCAD, the most popular 2D design software in the industry, I've got you covered with a comprehensive course on that too. Plus, you'll get sneak peeks of upcoming courses so you can stay ahead of the game. To check it out, just click on the link in the description below, and don't forget to use the discount code 20OFF to get, you've guessed it, 20% off all my courses. So now, let's get back to the tutorial. Thanks very much. Hello and welcome back to lecture 66. And in this one I want to work on the latch mechanism for the tailgate. So we have this sort of plate here, and then we have this piece, and then we have a pin which goes through it, and then the ring and the chain. I don't know if we'll get it all done in one lecture. We'll give it a shot, but if it gets a little long, we'll stretch it over two. So let's just see how we go. So to do this, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and take this plate here up a little bit further. So let's grab this one and hold shift and grab this one, and let's tap into edit mode. Let's hit Z and go to wireframe, and let's hit Control 1 to get to an orthographic view. Let's press 1 so we can select vertices. And let's select these top vertices here, hold shift, move on over, and select these top vertices here, and just go ahead and move those up a little bit higher, like that. Okay, cool. Let's grab this bolt here now, and let's hold and shift and grab this bolt here, and just take these down a little bit. Maybe grab these ones here now, whoops, deselect the others, and grab these two here, and just even those out in the middle. There we go, something like that. Let's tap out of edit mode and let's go back to solid and see what we got. Okay, that's cool. Let's press Shift A and let's go and bring in a cube. I think we'll try a cube, and let's scale that down. Let's press Control 1 to get the orthographic view from the rear, and go ahead and bring that over here like this, and bring it up here like this. Let's hit S and scale it down a little bit more, and try to get this where we want it. I'm looking at doing this plate here, this sort of light bulb shaped plate first of all, by the way. And let's scale that down a little bit more to about there, like that. Let's bring that out and let's scale that down in the Y, so SY, and bring that down quite a bit to something like that. Okay, so let's tap into edit mode on that one. Press 3, grab that face there, and then bring that out to about there like that. And now let's scale that down in the Z axis, so S and Z, and bring that down something like that, I think. Let's press 2, grab that edge there, and press Ctrl R, and put a loop in the middle, and maybe just move it over a little bit, and now scale that down as well in the Z axis. So S and Z, and just bring that down a little bit like that. Okay, let's actually grab this edge now, and this edge here, and let's scale that up in the Z, so S and Z. Whoops, no, not that one. Just this one, and this one. I had still had the middle selected. And scale that up in Z, so S and Z, and bring that up. Let's see what's going on here. Individual origins, median point is what we want there. And scale that up in the Z, and there we go. Well, we still have those selected. Let's press Ctrl B, and let's bevel those. And let's scroll the mouse wheel as we go to try and increase the vertex count. And yeah, that's good. That's what we want. Let's actually grab that one there and right click, and let's dissolve that edge just so we have some spacing between them. And now let's grab this one here. Hold down Shift and grab the bottom one. And let's press Ctrl B on that and bevel that as well. See what we got, and yeah, that's kind of the shape that I want. Okay, so let's grab these faces here now. And this one, and these faces here. There we go, and right click and dissolve those edges. Okay, so let's grab this one here, and this one here. And let's hit Ctrl B and put a slight bevel on those now. Something like that, but then reduce the vertex count this time. To about 3 should be good. Alright, so that's kind of that plate just there. I'm happy with that. We'll tap out of edit mode and just take it down a little bit maybe. And yeah, I think we're good. Maybe take it in a little bit. Maybe out a little bit, and yeah. And maybe we just tap into edit mode one more time, press 3, select this face here, and just take this face back a little bit. Just reduce the thickness on that a bit. And there we go. That's cool. Okay, so let's tap out of edit mode and have a look at the scale. Let's fix that, so Control A, and apply rotation and scale. And let's go for a bevel on this now. Generate and bevel. And let's increase those zeros. Let's put 2 there. Enter. And I will leave it just like that. Let's increase the segments to 2. And then I will leave it just there like that. That's what we want. That's cool. Okay, now that's done. Let's grab this item here and press Shift S. And bring the cursor to the selected. Now let's press Shift A and mesh, and let's bring in a cylinder. And let's reduce the vertices to about 28 and hit S and scale it in. Let's rotate that on the X. So R, X, 90, enter. And scale it down a little bit more to something like that. Okay, now we've got that and it's all the way through. Let's grab that item and let's add a Boolean modifier to this. Take the eyedropper and drop it on this one right here like that. We can just see that's worked by just hiding that cylinder for a minute, and it's worked just fine. I'm happy with that. So I'll go ahead and bring that back, click back on this one and apply it. Okay, so let's try applying a Shade Auto Smooth to this. So right click on it and Shade Auto Smooth, and there we go, that's just fine. So let's take this one now and let's just scale that in ever so slightly to something like that. And now let's take this front edge here. So let's tap into edit mode on this one. And let's press 3. Grab this face here, maybe take it in a little bit. And now let's press extrude, so E and Y, and bring that out like that. Hit S and scale that in, like that. And we'll say press E and Y again, and bring that out, and press S and scale that in again. That's cool. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is I'll press 2 so we can select edges. I'll hold Alt and grab this edge, hold Shift and Alt now and grab this edge and this edge, press Ctrl B and put ever such a slight bevel on that. Bit funky, we'll get there in a minute. There we go. And let's reduce the vertices count to maybe 2, and that's what we want. Okay, so let's go ahead now and tap out of edit mode and right click on this and shade auto smooth. Let's bring this out some. Just something like that. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's try and make this little key detail here. So let's press Shift A and let's go ahead and bring in a cube. And let's scale that down. Let's press 3 to see it from the side, and let's bring it out like this, and bring it up like this. Take it out a little bit more, and maybe scale that down some, and bring that in like this, and down a little bit more. Cool. Let's press Ctrl 1 to see this from the rear now, and let's scale it down in the X, so SX, and bring this down in the thickness. Let's tap into edit mode and grab the bottom face, and let's press E for extrude and Z, and just bring that down like that. Let's grab this face here now and just take this in a little bit more like this. And now let's press Z and see in wireframe and grab the bottom face if I can get to it. There it is. And go ahead and bring that down some more. Let's press Z again and go back to solid and see what we've got. Maybe take it a tiny bit more. And there we go. Okay, so let's select edges now. Let's grab this edge here. And let's maybe take it out a little bit more. And press Ctrl B and bevel that. Increase the segments a few. Just something like that. So I got 8 segments. Do the same on this side too. Ctrl B. And bring this one in like this. And let's do this one as well. So I'll grab that one there, press Ctrl B, and put a bevel on that too. Cool. All right, and now we just do this edge here too. Ctrl B, bevel this one, and the back one too. Ctrl B and bevel. Okay, so let's tap out of edit mode on this, and let's just scale this down a little bit. So hit S, scale it in a little bit more, and take it back a little bit, and down a little bit, and see what we got. And that's what I want, really. That's the kind of shape. Okay, so the next thing to do is let's actually bring in another cylinder. So Shift A, Mesh, and bring in a cylinder, and let's just scale it down instantly. I'm happy with 28 segments for this. And let's rotate that in the Y-axis, so RY, 90, enter, and bring this up and bring this out like this and scale it down some more. I'm just trying to create a hole basically in this pin thing so that we can put this ring through it. So let's scale that up in the X, so SX, and bring it up like this, and now just scale it down overall. You bring that up a little bit like that, and out a little bit like that. And there we go, that's fine. Okay, so let's grab this item and check the scale, and we can fix that. So Control A, apply rotation and scale, and now add a Boolean modifier. Grab the eyedropper and put it onto the little cylinder you see there. Let's actually see where this cylinder is now and just hide that for a minute just to confirm that that Boolean's worked, which it has. So I'll grab this Boolean and we will apply it. Cool. Let's find that little pin or that little cylinder and let's delete it. We're done with that. All right, let's grab this key again. Key, that's the word I was just looking for a minute ago. Let's grab this key again, add a modifier, and let's put on a bevel modifier this time. Let's increase the zeros here. Put 2 zeros there. Enter. And see what we get. Maybe we increase that to 3 zeros. And increase the 1. To a 5 and see how that looks. There we go. That's what we want. Let's increase the segments to 2 and we'll go ahead and apply that. Okay, let's grab this one now and let's add a modifier to this one and let's add a Boolean modifier to this one, and this time grab the eyedropper and put it on the pin like that. Let's actually see if that's worked. And it has, so I'm happy with that. Let's bring that back, grab this one and apply it. Grab the key again and let's just scale it down a tiny bit so that there's a little bit of gaps around the key inside the hole. Maybe a little bit more even. There we go, that's cool. And yeah, that's it. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so I think in the next lecture, we'll put the chain on this and we'll put this ring on the top and see how we go with that. All right, thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to see more tutorials just like this, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you can get notified when new content drops. You can also check out my channel for more episodes of this series, or you can head over to my website to explore my full range of courses. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.